It's 49.6.
Number two should be 49.
For the Memorial Parade.
No, I didn't.
Such a good job decorating. They had like red, white, and blue banners.
What is it? 49 what?
600.
Oh, really?
They fit. We had all this, or me, Don, and Kevin in it, and it looked really good. They did such a good job.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't see it.
Great.
But then it just was getting too.
We had a lot going on that day.
Yeah. And then it was just a lot of walking to get the car and park and find you guys. And I said, yeah. I'm a little good. How are you, Sherry? I said they were just going to have to.
Kevin's daughter graduated high school.
They did. I was a supervisor.
Planning. Keep that off.
And the kids were gonna. They were fighting over whether they walked with us or if they were gonna walk with Cub Scouts. And we got there, and it was like, oh no, I'm going with my friends. Bye. And they were up farther in the parade. It was like, besides, why would I want to ride back that far with you guys? And I'm laughing like, oh, so we're talking trash now, huh? He was a good sport. And then
My oldest is in 8th grade.
he
This
stuck
is
around
his
with me.
last,
We went to the
like, 10
memorial service at the park afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
You really enjoyed it.
How's it going, everybody?
Leon's leading the meeting tonight. Leon's leading the meeting tonight.
Why?
Kevin is not in town.
Oh, okay. I see. Out of town, huh? All right. Leon does a good job.
We'll have to try not to give him a hard time.
It's ridiculous.
I got a baseball game at 6:30. I got to be too. So we gotta.
Gotta get out of here. Remember that, Jerry. He's got a baseball game at 6:30.
Luke's got.
I'd like to call the Van Buren Charter Township Board of Trustees meeting to order at 6 p.m. My name is Leon Wright. I'm going to be the chair tonight in the absence of the supervisor. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I guess I'll be doing the roll call also. Trustee Martin?
Here.
Trustee Boyne? Here. Trustee Kelly? Here. Trustee Frazier? Here. Treasurer Bud? The clerk is present. The supervisor is absent tonight but excused. First item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I make a motion, we adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Have a motion by Trustee Frazier, support by Trustee Kelly. All in favor? Motion
Would you
passed.
ask for discussion on that first?
You want to discuss it?
For the adoption of the agenda? I have something I'd like added to agenda number one.
I am sorry. Can we discuss the
Yeah,
agenda?
I just think it should say to consider the approval of Nicole Gebhardt's personal service agreement as Director of Recreation.
That's number one.
That's what I would like it to say.
The director, okay. That's Director of Recreation.
As Recreation Director and authorize the supervisor and clerk to sign the agreement.
Okay. Secretary, you got that?
Sir.
All right. Let's try this again. Can I get a motion? Okay, so we have a motion by Trustee Frazier, second by Trustee Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
With the amendment of the addition to item 1 to say discussion and consider approval of Nicole Gebhardt, Personal Service Director for Recreation Director, and authorize the supervisor and the clerk to execute the agreement. That's good? Okay. Director Sumter. I'm sorry. We skipping, okay, I'm sorry. So we have a motion. Everybody in favor said aye? Motion passes. Next item is the adoption of the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by trustee Boyden, supported by trustee Frazier, to adopt the consent agenda as listed. Anyone have a issue with that, or you want me to read it out? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Nay? Motion passed. We have no public hearing. Anybody have any correspondence or presentations or announcements from the board? Anyone from the audience? Nothing?
The virtual audience, clerk, no.
Public comment? Public comment, anything from the audience? Anyone have anything to say regarding new business that's going to be presented on the agenda tonight from the audience? Anything from the board? We have no unfinished business, so we move on to new business. First item is discussion and to consider approval of Nicole Gephardt, personal service agreement and recreation director, and authorize the supervisor and the clerk to execute this agreement. Directors.
Through the chair, I make a motion that we approve the contract for Nicole Gebhardt, personal service agreement as Director of Recreation, and authorize the supervisor and the clerk to execute the agreement.
Support.
I have a motion by Treasurer Bud, support by Trustee Boyden. It's in your hands.
Greetings, Board, and thank you for allowing me to present the agenda item for Nicole Gerhardt tonight. I stand before you with her standing beside me to ask for approval of the Director of Recreation's personal service agreement for the community services. But before I move into that, I would like to give you some personal background on who she is. She was chosen for this position based on her wonderful personality, her strong supervisory skill level with managing people and processes, along with the ability to understand and prepare governmental budgets as it relates to community centers. She has a solid 22 years of recreation experience, including planning, directing, and overseeing programming within the community. She is a certified parks and recreational professional, among many other certifications outlined in the information that you all received in your packet. She also serves as the VP of the Northeast Recreation Parks Association. I will request the board to consider the approval of Nicole Gerhardt's personal service agreement as the Director of Recreation and authorize Supervisor McNamara and Clerk Wright to execute said agreement. With that, I will take any questions the board may have.
Any questions from the board?
Just a comment, we're glad to have her.
With no other comments from the board, I have a motion from Trustee Frazier, supported by Trustee Boyden. All in favor? Aye. Nay? Opposed? Welcome aboard.
All right, we'll go to shake everyone's hand.
Come through and
Right here.
Oh, welcome aboard. Oh, we got a damaged hand there.
thank you.
Looks like that might be a friend.
So we move on to item number 2. Can I get a motion?
Through the chair. Make a motion to consider approval of Fishbeck to provide CCTV sewer inspection, design, and administration for Van Buren Township sewer system in the amount of $46,000 to be paid from Sewer Fund 592-536-820 engineering fees.
Support.
Have a motion from trustee Martin, supported by trustee Frazier. Director Akers.
All right, thank you, Board. This proposal is for our engineers to provide administration and review services for the proposed year 4 of our sanitary sewer televising project. Over the past 3 years, we've televised about 38% of our sewer system. With the proposed year 4 of televising, we are proposing to televise another 21 miles of sewer main, which will bring the amount of sewer main televised to approximately 56%. The administration's scope of work includes reviewing inspection reports and CCTV videos, spot checking any areas of concerns that are identified, coordinating with outside permit agencies, review and prepare monthly payment reports, and inspection coordination with the township and the contractor. This service was provided during the first 3 years of the televising project and is a continuation of these services. As I had indicated, before the meeting, one correction is that the proposal for services is actually $49,600, not $4,600. That was a mistake on our end. I apologize. This concludes my summary. Myself and Paul Kamer from Fishbeck are here to answer any questions the board may have regarding this request.
To the chair. What was that figure again, 49?
It was $49,600.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
Nope.
No other questions? I guess we have a motion from trustee Frazier. You have a question?
Are we, I think the motion was read out with 46,000. Do we need to amend that dollar amount in the motion to be correct?
We do.
We do.
Yeah. Can you, trustee Frazier, you want to redo?
Kevin Martin made the
Kevin Martin
motion.
did? Want to redo the motion?
I will. I make the motion to approve Fishbeck to provide CCTV sewer inspection design and administration for Van Buren Township sewer system in the amount of $49,600 to be paid from Sewer Fund 592-536-820-000 engineering fees.
Support.
Motion? She had already made, you okay with that motion? Revised? Okay. We have a motion from trustee Martin, supported by trustee Frazier. All in favor? Aye. Against? Motion passes. Let's move on to item number 3.
Consider approval of the sanitary sewer CCTV inspection year 4 change order with Advanced Underground in the amount of $100,849.10, which will be paid from the sewer capital outlay clean/reline fund number 592-537-971-003.
Support.
We'll give it to trustee treasurer Bud. We have a motion by trustee Kelly, supported by treasurer Bud. Ron, it's all yours.
All right, thank you. This proposal is for a change order to our existing contract with Advanced Underground to add a 4th year to the sewer televising project and complete, as indicated prior, complete an additional 21 miles of sewer main televising. Advanced Underground has agreed to maintain the same unit pricing from the original bid process we had 3 years ago, and this is one of the primary reasons why we are bringing this change order forward. This proposal will be for year 4 of a 7-year program, and it is our plan to place years 5 through 7 out to bid next year. Year 4 will televise some of the critical areas, including the Haggerty subdivision, which has some of the oldest sewer mains in the township, the areas around Harmony Lane, where we recently had some capacity issues during last August heavy rain event, and a large sanitary main along the I-94 South Service Drive, which directly feeds into the South Huron Valley sewer interceptors. The cost of the proposal is $100,849.10. Included in the cost is as-needed cleaning, so the pipes can be inspected, As with our prior contracts, township staff will clean the smaller diameter pipes in the system ahead of the contractor. However, the larger 24-inch diameter pipes will be cleaned by the contractor if it is deemed necessary. This concludes my summary. Myself and Mr. Kamer are available to answer any questions the board may have.
Any questions from the board? None? Okay, we have a motion by trustee Kelly, supported by treasurer Bud. With no other questions, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to item number 4. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to consider approval of a sub-recipient agreement for community development block grant funding between the township and Wayne County for up to $330,000 for Tyler Road sidewalk improvements.
Support.
I have a motion by trustee Frazier, supported by trustee Kelly. Dan?
Board. The action before you is what's called a subrecipient agreement. It's the mechanism that the county uses to distribute funding from housing and urban development for CDBG projects. And this is a project we're excited to see that we got funding for. There have been numerous applications over the years to try to get some version of this done, but it's basically to fill in sidewalk gaps on the north side of Tyler Road between Haggerty Road and Morton Taylor Road. And this is an area that has, there's a presence of low to moderate income housing in this area, but it's also an area that's serves a lot of the very highly populated residential neighborhoods in the township, and filling in these sidewalk gaps will help people get from neighborhood to neighborhood, into job centers, into the elementary school. And so this is an exciting project for the township. The agreement before you tonight is for up to $300,000 for the project expenses to be, the project needs to be completed by July of 2025. And there's also a $30,000 contingency that's part of the agreement that we would have to get pre-authorization from the county to use. But with your approval tonight, we'll have this executed and sent back to the county so we can get started. I'm happy to answer any questions about the project.
Any questions from the board?
Just to say, it's a very worthwhile project.
With no question, I must say that also. It's something that I've been asking for some years now. It would always break my heart to see people traveling Tyler Road in the snow, trying to figure out how they're going to get from point A to point B, traveling in the snow in the summertime, and then seeing, I think I sent pictures to one time with someone traveling in a wheelchair on the side of the road coming up Tyler Road. I don't think that's the way we want to be. We want to be that premier community. We got to make this community a walkable community also. So I'm glad to see this. I have a motion by trustee Frazier, supported by trustee Kelly. No other comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. I think you got number 5 too, right?
Yes.
Can I get a motion?
Through the chair. Move that we approve of the first reading of ordinance 06-04-24, number 1, to amend the zoning ordinance to provide language clarifying signage provisions for the Belleville Road and Sumter Road mixed-use districts.
Support.
I have a motion by trustee Boyden, supported by treasurer Bud. Dan, this is yours too, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you, board. Over the past few years, the board will recall that we did some extensive work to create the Sumter Road corridor plan and also kind of develop our mixed-use zoning districts in the township. So we kind of evolved the mixed-use district that we have on the books to the Belleville Road mixed-use district. And we also now have the Sumter Road mixed-use district. And the Sumter Road mixed-use zoning district is the the district that a lot of sites will be able to rezone to on the Sumter Road corridor to bring new development to the area. One thing we did notice, though, when reviewing the first major project on this corridor under that zoning district is that the sign regulations were lacking for both of the existing mixed-use district and the new BRMU and SRMU districts. So as you can see on the table here, there previously were no sign regulations for these districts. These are districts that have the ability to harness a lot of different land uses depending on the building types and depending on where the lots are placed within the district. And so we needed some clarity to determine what kinds of signs could be used in the different parts of those zoning districts. And so the proposal is to have sign allotments in the BRMU and SRMU zoning districts based on the type of land use. So basically, if you have a commercial retail store in the BRMU or SRMU district, you're going to use the same type of sign standards that you would use for other commercial businesses in the township. Same goes for maybe a light industrial or manufacturing use and an office use, kind of just making those signs linked to the underlying sign regulations based on the zoning districts that they usually relate to. So this is just a clarifying zoning ordinance text amendment. There will be 2 readings for this amendment.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No.
I have a motion by trustee Boyden, supported by treasurer Bud. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 6. Can I get a motion?
Through the chair, I move that we approve of the first reading of ordinance 0604-24, number 2, rezoning of the property at parcel number V12583-134-990003-701 from AG Agricultural and Estate to SRMU Sumter Mixed Use District.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by trustee Boyden, supported by treasurer Bud. Ron, I'm sorry, Dan.
Thank you, Board. This is the last of my items tonight. We do have Brian LeBrant of Tractor Supply with us, or with the development group that's associated with Tractor Supply. Here, I guess, if you would like to get acquainted, but this is the first of several actions before the board related to the proposed Tractor Supply project. But as you heard, this is a rezoning ordinance to rezone a little over 5 acres of property at the southeast corner of Hull and Sumter Road from the Agricultural and Estate zoning district to the Sumter Road Mixed Use District. This is the type of development that we kind of envisioned when the Sumter Road Mixed Use District was created and the Sumter Road Corridor Plan was envisioned for that site. This is going to be a zoning district that can apply broadly for a lot of different land use types in the district. For this particular lot, it's what we call a anchor lot. So it's going to be a very highly visible site for this store to establish. And compared to the planned land use that used to be here and the existing zoning of ag, the Sumter Road Mixed Use will actually work to allow this development to occur. And so this is the first of 2 rezoning readings, and you will also hear a special land use recommendation that got moved forward from the Planning Commission from their hearing on May 22nd. But again, tonight is just the first rezoning reading. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Again, Mr. LeBrant is here as well.
Any questions from the board?
I don't have a question. The only comment I would say is, at the Planning Commission, when we entered into this and thought this is what ought to happen out there, we did have a couple Sumter residents that spoke in favor of this project. So, and we have talked with Sumter over the mixed use because, of course, that's who that butts up to. So I think this will be a welcome addition to that area.
I agree with Treasurer Bud. I mean, I know we've been talking about this for a while, trying to get some use in that area of the township, which is the most southern end of our township before you go into Sumter. And it's glad to see that we have someone that's willing to come in and hopefully start something that's gonna be great. So, welcome, and thanks for coming in. With no other questions, we have a motion from trustee Boyden, support by treasurer Bud. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, board.
Thank you. We'll move on to, we have no reports. We'll move on to public comments of non-agenda items. Do we have anybody in the audience that would like to make a comment? Anything? Red shirts? Anybody want to comment?
Good evening. I've met most of you previously. There are a few on the board who I haven't had the pleasure of having an introduction yet. Just want to introduce myself. My name is Todd Barron. I've been a practicing attorney for 28 years. I've lost track of myself. I will be running for the seat that's being vacated on the 34th District Court by the retirement of Judge Green. Look forward to an opportunity to work with the township. It's a big part of the area that's serviced by that court, and I'm available if anybody wants to speak with me privately after the meeting. I'd be more than happy to give you any information you care with regards to my background. Also, my wife Janine has agreed to come and visit here as well, and she looks forward to the opportunity to serve the community along with the rest of our family.
There's always a good woman behind it.
Okay, thank you. Any board comment, non-agenda items? No comment from the board. This concludes our meeting for tonight. I call
Make a
for,
motion,
make
we
motion for adjournment.
Motion adjourned.
Motion for treasurer board supported by Boyden. Trustee Martin is non-debatable. We stand adjourned.